No matter what type of activity we're performing, the human mind and body will eventually reach a limit and become simply too fatigued to continue. Driving is a dangerous and demanding activity. Thus, the hours of service regulations were established to limit the amount of time commercial drivers may spend either behind the wheel or on duty not driving. Upon reaching certain limits, they are required to take breaks and obtain rest before driving again. Operating a CMV while fatigued carries the highest SMS violation point total of 10. If the driver has exceeded their legal driving time, not only can they be cited for an hours of service violation under Regulation 395, they can also be cited for fatigue driving under Regulation 392, piling on more points to their driving record. The ultimate consequence of driving fatigued, however, is the possibility of becoming involved in a serious crash, such as a head-on collision, lane departure, or vehicle rollover, which often result in fatalities. Law enforcement personnel are instructed to view exceeding maximum driving time, speeding, and falsification of logs as indicators of potential fatigue. All of these infractions carry a high SMS severity level. Note that while form and manner violations are less severe, such as a log not being dated or signed, they still appear on the driver's PSP record and the carrier's SMS scores. On-duty time means all time from the time a driver begins to work or is required to be in readiness to work until the time the driver is relieved from work and all responsibility for performing work. On-duty time shall include all time waiting to be dispatched, inspecting, servicing, or conditioning any commercial motor vehicle, driving time, all time in or on a commercial motor vehicle other than for approved rest periods. On-duty time also includes all time loading or unloading a commercial motor vehicle, repairing, obtaining assistance, or remaining in attendance upon a disabled commercial motor vehicle. Drug and alcohol testing. Performing any other work for a motor carrier or performing any compensated work for a non-motor carrier. In general, as applies to property carrying motor carriers, the hours of service limitations are as follows. Under the existing regulations, driving a commercial motor vehicle is not allowed for longer than 8 hours without taking a 30-minute off-duty break. After 11 hours of driving time or 14 hours of on-duty time, there must be a minimum of 10 hours of off-duty time before driving again. After 60 hours of on-duty time in 7 consecutive days or 70 in 8 days, the driver must wait until after midnight before driving again if there are available hours to drive. If the driver accumulates 32 consecutive hours of off-duty time, the clock resets to 0 and they may resume driving. Passenger carrying motor carriers continue to operate under the former limits of 10 hours of driving and 15 hours of off-duty time. There are many exceptions to the limits as described above, such as short haul and sleeper berth operations. Therefore, it is important to confirm with your company safety department which rules apply to your operation. Body Mass Index, or BMI, is a measure of body fat based on height and weight that applies to adult men and women and has been linked to sleep apnea, a common disorder in which there are one or more pauses in breathing or shallow breaths while sleeping. As a result, the quality of sleep is poor, which creates weariness throughout the day. Sleep apnea is a leading cause of excessive daytime sleepiness. Obstructive sleep apnea is more common in people who are overweight, so controlling BMI can be a safety issue for professional drivers who struggle with controlling their weight. Since it's easier to get to the delivery point if we know exactly where we are starting our trip from, knowing one's BMI is an important factor contributing to overall driver fitness. The National Heart, Lung and Blood Institute website provides a BMI calculator to do a preliminary check of personal BMI and learn more about how to control BMI. Visit their website and consult with your personal physician regarding BMI and sleep apnea to determine if you may be at risk.